Good evening. It's Facebook Love number 200. I wasn't sure yesterday if I would come tonight just because it's New Year's Eve, and I didn't know if, suddenly plans might have showed up. Pardon me, but we're still in the middle of a pandemic. No matter who takes it seriously, I do. Anyway, I was kind of cranky a lot of the day, and but I got my work finished early, and I have tomorrow off and the weekend, so that's nice. And I thought that with 200 being the next Facebook Love, that it made sense to do it at the very end of 2020 and to just tell it goodbye and move into 2021. I saw an interesting piece today that was sort of positing the idea that poets and writers would have nothing to talk about once Trump was out of office, and I thought, how ridiculous. Writers have had a lot to talk about for as long as there have been writers. There's always love and beauty, of course. There's always injustice, sadness, grief, joyful, and frivolity, all of those things. And for today, I have a couple that are specifically about New Year's Eve. Nothing too mushy, just sort of pensive and thinking about what's next. I want to do some goal setting and visioning over the next few days. So here we go. This first one is called On New Year's Eve by Evie Shockley. We make midnight a maquette of the year, frostlight glinting off snow, to solemnize the vows we offer to ourselves in near silence. The competition shimmer-wise of champagne and chandeliers to attract laughter and cheers. The glow from the fireplace reflecting the burning infrared pact between beloveds. We cosset the space of a fey hour, anxious gods molding our hoped-for atoms with this temporal clay. Each of us audacious for shining or rash enough to think sacrifice will stay this fugacious time, while stillness suspends vitality in balance, as passions struggle with passions for sway. The mind wends toward what's to come, a callithump of fashions, ersatz smiles, crowded days, a bloodless cut that severs soul from bone, a long, aching quiet in which we will hear nothing but the clean crack of our promises breaking. That's from 2011, On New Year's Eve by Evie Shockley. I thought that was not only a lovely thing to imagine, the images she drew, but every single line contained at least one word that is really unusual. I would not want someone new to English to try to do that one. Some really fun words. The second one for today, one of my favorites, Naomi, Shihab. This one is a little older. It's from 1995, and it's titled Burning the Old Year, which a lot of people like to do, burn some things from the year that we're saying goodbye to. Also, I've seen people say they like to open 2 doors at midnight. One to let the old year out, make sure it left, and one to let the new year in. So here is Burning the Old Year by Naomi Shihab. Letters swallow themselves in seconds. Notes friends tied to the doorknob, transparent scarlet paper, sizzle like moth wings, marry the air. So much of any year is flammable, lists of vegetables, partial poems, orange swirling flame of days. So little is a stone. Where there was something and suddenly isn't. An absence shouts, celebrates, leaves a space. I begin again with the smallest numbers. Quick dance, shuffle of losses and leaves. Only the things I didn't do crackle after the blazing dies. Burning the Old Year by Naomi, Shihab. I had great hope for 2020. I was turning over 2019 with gratitude, really happy to say goodbye to a lot of the things that happened in that year. And little did we know what was coming. It didn't take long for me to realize something was going on, because I have some friends overseas, and rumors of what was to come arrived well before our shutdowns. But even then, we had no idea what we were in for. Between the pandemic and continued cruelty and lack of compassion from the now outgoing administration, the election, and the reawakening, or should I say the strengthening of the civil rights movement and movement for equality, it's been really quite a year, and I'm happy to say goodbye to it. But I certainly think poets and writers will have plenty to discuss in 2021 and going forward. Nothing gets fixed in a day or even in 1 year. So goodbye 2020. This is Facebook Love number 200, and I'll see you next year.